Hi, beautiful Aquarius. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Aquarius, this is your monthly read for April, but we can look at it as a month into the future. So mid-April until mid-May, give or take. We're going to start with an overall energy here, overall message, and then just dive deeper and deeper into that message. And then at the end, we have the angels come in for you, hopefully, with some message. I also want to say that I don't voice this enough, but like I am still doing personal readings. So if you're interested in one, please send me a message. You find all about it in the description. That was quick. Letting go, learn to let go is the foundational. And I feel like this is a different energy altogether because it's, let's see if it ties in somehow with the other signs, because I just feel like up until basically definitely Sagittarius, maybe even Capricorn, there has been like one long collective message, if you will. Almost like you could probably listen to every single one of them and resonate with all of them, because there has been such a similar feel, like we're all as a collective moving into something greater, something deeper. There's a lot of transformation going on. We even see that for you here actually now when I think about it, that we have a gazillion butterflies. We see the first ones down here. If you watch the video and not just listen, there's a lot of butterflies here. And they actually continue up. If we can focus, it actually continues up. Like there's a lot of butterflies, which talks about big transformation. I see the silhouette of this face really clearly. It reminds me of the silhouette of what message was that? Cancer had this card, and I believe that Virgo had this card, Cancer and Virgo, but I think it was Virgo that the silhouette of greatness came through. Let me explain. So there were like a couple of faces there with profile, just like this. If you see this, there's a chin here, there's a mouth, there's the upper lip, there's the nose, and it continues up like that. Like there's a huge face. Do you see that? A huge face in the middle of this card. And it draws me back into that reading that I saw in this, I believe the Virgo reading, that there were big faces, like a feeling of walking into a great room or walking into a room with great people, or like we have had greatness here. We're stepping into greatness. I think Virgo's headline was a seat at the big table. So it's like, it's a feeling of like ancestral feeling, really, like people have walked before you, but you're stepping into the same energy of them. And here it is again, the silhouette of a face. It's like it's a reminder that we're in the presence of greatness or something like that. We're going to go deeper here and see what message wants to come out. This is about learning to let go. This is about knowing when something is really beneficial for you and knowing when it's not. And, you know, it starts out as a whisper. It starts out as you probably have a feeling somewhere that this relationship might not be the best relationship for you. This job situation might not be the best job situation for you. This, what I call it, like health regime might not be the best health regime for you. Whatever behavior you have, whatever thought pattern you have, it might be like a little voice whispering, like you need to get out of this, or you need to change this somehow, or you need to move beyond it, or we need to drop this altogether, learn to let go. And then like Abraham, as in Abraham Hicks would say, if you don't listen the first time around, if you don't listen when it's like that silent, and it's not silent if you pay attention. It's not a whisper if you pay attention. The whisper is just as loud as any loudness. It's just that we choose not to pay attention to it. We choose not to follow it. Maybe we don't even trust it. But as Abraham would say, you know, if the whisper is there and you don't sort of follow it, don't worry, it's only gonna get bigger. Which is like, sounds alarming. And it is sort of, but it's like, don't worry, you won't miss when you're going down the wrong path. Don't worry, at some stage you're going to be steered away from it. But the thing is, you have the initial voice there from the beginning, the initial whisper from the beginning is already there, and you sense it. So the question is, when do you learn to, not when do you learn to, well, when you learn to let go, but when's the time to drop something? When is it like trying too hard? When it's too much? When is it like, if you have a bad day, maybe you don't drop a relationship because you have a bad day, or you don't quit your job because you have a bad day, right? So when's the right time? But this is about learning when something is beneficial for you, and learning when it's not. And then when it's not, then how to let it go. Okay? Interesting start here, Aquarius. Learn to let go. And then simultaneously, you're in the presence of greatness. You're in the presence of greatness, and there's a huge transformation going on. I see a lot of crystals there. Whoever's into crystals, there's a lot of crystal situation going on. Like on this side, this is all crystal. Maybe that's a name for someone. Crystal. Or it's just, it's beneficial for you to have some sort of crystal around you at this time. Okay. Wow. That was fast. Going deeper still, what do we have for Aquarius here, please? Jeez. Us. Okay. Wow. This is really interesting because we have like 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. But it's coming out as 9, 10, night, and 12. But the night is, if we could count it, it's an 11, right? So there's a, I know it sounds silly when I say this, like, yeah, of course we always have that, but like there's a great progress or great process going on. And I believe that it was for someone else. Maybe that was Leo, or was it? Never mind. It was for someone, another sign that I know that I said, like, maybe sometimes we can skip a beat. Maybe sometimes we can skip a number. We can go from A to D. We don't have to go to from A to B necessarily. This time you do. You really have to. You really have to follow the breadcrumbs. Go step by step by step in this transformation, in this situation that you're in. You can't skip a beat. There's something like we need to go through it, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm actually going to do then, how did they come out? We started with those two, right? And then we have those two. So interesting. Okay, so we have a change of perspective. We're starting with the number 12. We have a change of perspective here with the hangman. This is the hangman. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. There's a better way, Aquarius. So first we have learn to let go. When do you know when something doesn't work anymore? And so this might not be, this can also be like simultaneously, as we say, learn to let go. It can be learn when to shift course, like course correct, or shift the direction of your path. It might not be let go altogether. It might just be, so for instance, if I take a job related situation, you might be you have some sort of career, and you're at this company, or maybe you even work for yourself. You have your own business, however your situation is. This might not even be your thing. It might be the relationships is your thing right now. I'm just taking this as a metaphor. So let's say you're in a job related situation, and it might not be that you're supposed to let go of the job entirely. It might be that you're supposed to just steer the work situation in a different direction. Because this is learning to look at something from a different perspective. And it might also be, because I'm getting a little bit of like, this might be, you're the only one who sees it. Does that make any sense? If you're in a relationship and you want to steer the relationship in a different direction than what it's going in, or you might want to go deeper into the relationship than what the other person seems to want to do, or you want to end the relationship, which is very different from what the other person wants to do. Or if this is a job, like I said, a job related situation, and it seems like, okay, it's like you have the overview. It's like Aquarius has the overview of stuff, and you seem right now to be the only one that really has a clear picture of what's going on here. So you might be a little bit alone, or feel like a little bit alone in this situation, but there's a better way here. There's another way to approach this. There's another way to go about this. And this is all about having a dare, like to dare. I mean, it's quite rare that you have to tell Aquarius to dare to be different, right? Because that's like that's your thing. That's your trademark even. Like if we have different trademarks for every for every sign, I would say that's your slogan. That's your I dare to be different is your slogan, right? But there's something here that maybe it's so far out of your comfort zone. It's so vastly different from what you used to be, what you used to do, what you used to have, that it like maybe triggers other people, or it triggers yourself, or it's a little bit scary for you to be that far outside of the box in what you are trying to do right now, or what you're transforming into. And okay, I just want to say this, that this transformation that has been going on, it's not new. So it might just be that it's new to other people. Like it might be that it's just, okay, feels like there's 10 things going at the same time here. So, okay. There's this inner voice, right? There's this inner voice that's calling you, that's whispering. It whispers things in your ether ear, if you will, or actually in your actual ear. You hear this. You hear that there's a whisper, there's a voice telling you to go in a different direction, or telling you to let go of something. There's an inner voice there telling you right now that you're in the presence of greatness, that you're coming into something great, something grand. And there's a big transformation. I feel that over the course of time, this transformation has been like going on all day, every day. But it's like you've managed to keep it under wraps, or like not hidden. I don't want to say hidden, but it's like maybe you haven't shown it to other people as like how much of a transformation that really has been going on inside of you. Like on an outside, to the outside people, friends, family members, partners, whatever, you sort of look quote unquote the same. But internally, you've felt this transformation for quite some time. And now, when things appear, when things look a certain way, it's not you're just jumping on the transformation change, the transformation is already changing, but like this huge change, then it's not new for you, but it's new for other people around you. So it's like you just, as you voice certain things, you've already lived with it. It's almost like, okay, it's almost like if you've been thinking about leaving a job, or if you've been thinking about leaving a relationship, and those thoughts are just, you've kept them all to yourself. And if you're with someone who's actually not that paying that much attention, I would say lyhörd in Swedish. They're not all that attentive. Is that what you say? Like they don't really pay that much attention, or they are not picking up the subtleties, or like really following their intuition. But I would say that most people, if you live in a relationship, if you're in a situation with even a friendship, whatever, family situation, and you feel that there's a change coming on, I would say all the involved people feel the change. Maybe there's just, to you, it stands out more clearly because you've already lived it and you already have practiced it in your mind. And it's like, but for the sake of the analogy here. So let's say you have been thinking for a while to leave a certain relationship. For a while, you've been walking around with it. And so when there comes a day and you're telling a certain someone, I can't do this anymore. I want this to shift in a different direction. I want us to part ways. I want this to be not a thing anymore. Whether that's with a friend or a romantic partnership or a business partner, whatever, you want to part ways. You've lived with that for a while. You see the different perspectives here. You see the different vantage points. You see the different viewpoints of the situation. But as you lay that to another person, it might be the first time that they hear it. So it's like, what? Then it's like, okay, Aquarius, now you just need to be patient because you've been in this transformation for such a long time. And it's all of a sudden, it's like it's starting to shine through. Like every once in a while, a little bit more of that transformation is shining through you and showing up for other people as, what was that with Aquarius? What was going on with Aquarius? And it's not like it's new to you, but it's new to them. So inside of all of this, there's also this taking, be empathetic or be sympathetic or be understanding for the people involved, that they might have a different viewpoint than you because they haven't, at least not consciously, lived the same truth as long as you have. Okay? There's one aspect of it. Let's see where Spirit wants me to go, because I feel like there's almost like 5 different stories that we could play out here. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. I feel like the dare to be different is the biggest one. Like, dare to be who you are. Even if that's vastly different than who you have shown up as in the world. And then what came out? Then we have the Ten of Michael and then the Knight. So the Ten of Michael is all about, we've come to an end. Whatever difficulty this has been is all behind you. And this is a role. It's so interesting how this is a theme here. This is a role that you've been playing. I love the first time that I heard Jim Carrey talk about, I really nurtured this role, Jim Carrey, that I've been playing. But like, he's done now. I just want to be authentic now. And so there's something to that whatever your name is Crystal. So you play this role, or maybe Crystal is the authentic version of you, and anything else that you've played up until this point, you're done with. So anything that doesn't match your authentic self is going to now start to fall away. Patterns, behavior, foods, alcohol, like sugars, like things you've been eating that has matched the previous role, that doesn't match the authentic, because you're saying goodbye to it. Like, we're goodbye, we played this role really well. I'm now going to step back and be my authentic self. And whatever doesn't match the authentic self is all of a sudden going to just drop it like it's hot. It's going to drop like, that can even be weight. It can be, you're starting to all of a sudden lose weight for no apparent reason. Like, you haven't really changed anything, but for no apparent reason, you're starting to lose weight. And for no apparent reason, all of a sudden, you just don't feel like having sugar anymore. Or you're done with meat, or you're done with alcohol. You're done with certain people. Almost just like that, overnight, it feels like you don't want to see certain people anymore. You don't want to go certain places anymore. Like, and it almost feels weird. Like, just yesterday, or maybe it doesn't feel weird. Maybe it feels just so natural that it's not even, you don't even have to have like a transition period here. I think that transition period is for other people. I hope this makes sense. The stuff that you've eaten, the things that you've been drinking, the places you've gone to, the friends that you've had, the career that you've had, the how you showed up in the world, all fit the role that you've been playing up until this point. And now the role is done. The role has served you tremendously. It has served you tremendously, has made you into who you are, big parts of who you are. It has turned you into growth, expansion. Awesome. But now 10 completed, done. So almost just like that, you're going to start to drop certain things, and it might even astound you. Like maybe maybe you're a smoker and you have been trying to quit smoking for as long as you can remember, and those freaking cigarettes, you just can't get rid of them. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting dizzy as I talk about this. It's like really profound for someone, really, really important for someone. Or just hits the nail on the head for someone right now. This is like, oh my God, just the other day, I just felt like I don't want to smoke anymore. And all of a sudden you don't have the withdrawal symptoms. You don't have to think about it. It's not even an emotional parting of ways. Like, my dear friend, I've been with you for 20 years. Whatever that is all of a sudden you're done smoking. Done. And it's not even hard to let it go because it doesn't fit. It went with the role. You're done with the role. And when you're done with the role, you're done with the characteristics, the behaviors that came with that role, and it's done. It's completed. And then we have 9 of Ariel and Knight of Raphael. Like, this is so beautiful. This is like, I'm getting goosebumps like all up in my head. This is like, I don't know why I want to use the word fantasy land, because it's not, maybe this has been a fantasy of yours for such a long time, but it's like, it's not a fantasy. That's the thing. Maybe the fantasy is turning into reality, but it's like you're going to fantasy land, or you're going to dreamland, or whatever. Like, this is the part where you get to live your dreams. This is when, everything that you lived that sort of was fitting or suiting for the role that you've been playing up until this point, the more you sort of shed, the more like you peel yourself like an onion, the more layers you just take off. You just take it off. And then all of a sudden you're going to then obviously instead be drawn to other things that now match the authentic version of you, which is, if we start with this 9 of Ariel, this is like your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success, a love for the beautiful things in life. And the big rainbow there, it's like the soothing rainbow, the soothing energy of the rainbow, which is like everything you wished for, the fantasy dream land is coming to fruition, is coming true. Why? Because you're now living your authentic self, or at least you've started to. And 9 in this instance, 9 can represent endings, and we are in endings of things. I feel like you are in the midst of this calling, of this change, of this whisper, of this whatever you want to call it, but the transformation, transcendence is going on as we speak. But then, so the 9 is representative in a way of endings as well. But what you're stepping into, then 9 becomes unconditional. The 9 represents love as its purest form. It represents the uncondition of things. You don't need certain things to feel a certain way anymore. You feel. I can't talk today. You feel a certain way without the condition. You feel a certain way without the money. You feel a certain way without the partner, without the job, you feel a certain way because you understand how it is to be unconditional, how it is to be in the love vibration. Unconditioned. And then we have the Knight of Raphael. This is usually when there's a new person entering your life. Whether this is usually speaking about the romantic partnership. It doesn't necessarily, because it's a general read, and because of the big transformation that I'm seeing here, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partnership. It can be, and it can be more than that. It can be that you're shifting friend groups right now. It can be that you're shifting colleagues at work, like you having different business partners. What worked yesterday doesn't work today. This can be, like I said, if we talk about it as a romantic partnership, this is someone that's just going to completely knock your socks off. This is someone that's stirring things up within inside of you. This is someone that's really vitally important on your path forward. And whether that is like for a season, for a lifetime, you know, time will tell. But it's like, I just feel like it's a representation as well of things coming in instead of what you left. And if you're still in Aquarius, you're still in a relationship and you feel like the relationship doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't lead anywhere, it has in fact not for a while. This is also, it's not a carrot, but it's like it's a promise of, you know, you're dropping something because there's something better up ahead. And it doesn't mean that the people, the job, the situation that you're leaving behind is bad or is ugly in a sense, you know. It just doesn't fit where you're going. And then new representation comes in that fits your most authentic version. Wow, Aquarius. Just some final messages here from the angels, from your angels. What do you want to tell Aquarius, please, in this very shifting, transformational period? What do we have for Aquarius, please? Starting to move, so probably next round. Ooh! I was so sure I was going to get one card, but we're getting 4. Again, we had the 9, 10, 11, 12. That was 4 as well. And then you get another 4. So 4 is all about love and your heart and foundation. Okay, I'm just going to, you do the math. You're ready. This card, though, has come out. This is probably the 4th or the 5th time. For all the signs, 4th or the 5th time. You're ready? Yes. Forgiveness and trust. There's not later on, no, let's see, or any of that. It's like, you're ready? Yes. We need to forgive. We're in the trust. We're in the knowing. Trust your path. Trust your inner being. Trust that voice that is speaking to you. It will never lead you astray. And I said this a gazillion times, and I still believe that, even though I for sure had questioned certain situations in my life, certain relationships in my life. Is like, what have I been led to this relationship? How on earth could this be the correct relationship? Are you freaking kidding me? But on the other side of this, I can see why. So your inner being, your guides will never lead you astray. It's like, have trust. That's what I have for you, beautiful Aquarius. That was a little bit longer than the other readings, but that's that then. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're interested in a personal reading, maybe to look into your path now a little bit, since this seems to be very prominent, your transformation. Just send me a message, all about it in the description box. Thank you so much for watching.